In today's video, What?
Oh, here it is.
In today's video, we're talking about how to prep on a budget. Lights, first aid, and food. Hey everybody, welcome to Prepared to Live. I'm Steve. Today we're talking about how to prep on a budget. We're going to take $100 a month, and we're going to go divide it into 12 missions for 1 year, and we're going to give you a great foundation for your prepping lifestyle. The first item we want to talk about today is light. Everybody needs a good flashlight. If you've never been in the dark, you don't know how helpless that is. Here in North America, for the most part, we have a lot of light. You have to be back in the woods somewhere to really experience darkness. But there's places in the world that when the lights go out, you can't see your hand in front of your face. And when you're in that situation, you need a good light. Light is one of the most important things to a prepper. You need good light because there are things that you must achieve after the sun goes down. And if you can't see where you're going, it brings danger and almost assures failure of the mission. So to have a good light is essential. I recommend a flashlight that's at least 1,000 lumens. And if that flashlight can also adapt into a headlamp, that's even better. But go ahead and make that purchase now because you're going to need it. That's item number 1 in mission number 2 for you prepping on a budget. Now that we've got our lights squared away, let's move over to first aid. The first purchase you need to make in first aid is a North American Rescue cat tourniquet. Now I prefer the cat tourniquet, and listen, don't buy those cheap knockoffs. They're going to break and you don't want to need it and not have it. You don't want to be in a life-saving situation and your equipment fail. So spend a little extra money, get the North American Rescue cat tourniquet. I've got a link for it down in the show notes, but go ahead and purchase this and we're going to talk about how to use it in another video. Staying in the area of first aid, for those minor pains, aches, headaches, you need to get some over-the-counter medication. 500 tablets of ibuprofen, 500 tablets of some kind of off-brand acetaminophen. There's nothing that can slow you down like the aches and pains of trying to continue to take those steps, continue to do those minor actions that lead to success when you're beat up and bruised from yesterday's work. Those over-the-counter medications will go a long way in aiding those aches and pains, reduce fever, and get you on top of your game so that you can complete the tasks necessary to make sure you and your family have an optimal environment for survival. Our final item in the area of first aid is triple antibiotic cream. It's to treat open wounds, to make sure that infection doesn't get out of hand. An infection can bring you down. Infections are killers. And even the smallest cut when you're working around animal feces and all of the things that you have to as a homesteader and a prepper, you need to be prepared to be able to clean that and to be able to have that antibiotic ointment to be able to treat it so that that infection doesn't bring you down and hinder you from getting the job done that you need to get done. If you're enjoying this content, make sure you mash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single video. This series is essential to getting you started on your lifelong ambition, your dream of prepping and providing security for you and your family. We've created a free resource just for you. It's called the Prepping on a Budget Handbook. It walks you through all 12 missions, the 12 months, starting with how to budget. Teaches you how to take that $100, how to make sure that $100 is safe, and that you can hold on to that $100 as you buy each item. As you buy those items, it gives you a place for you to check that off. It's a running total so that you have completed all the items when all the check boxes are checked. It also gives you the price that we paid for those items and what we believe you can get those items for. After you've checked those off and you have those items that we ask you to get, then it's time to move down to the second part, the skills for the month. We have a list of 2 skills that we want you to master or to work on each and every month. They also have check boxes, so as you master those skills or work on those skills, you can check them off, and then you can go back and look back through your handbook to make sure that all the items are purchased and that all the skills are practiced. And then the final segment of the handbook gives you a running total so that you can see the progress you're making as you have a complete one-page look at all the items that you have purchased and all the skills that you have mastered and all the skills that you're continuing to work on. This is yours absolutely free. All you need to do is go to the show notes below, click that link, and download the free PDF. We're in the process of putting the final touches on it. We're going to release it soon. You want to be the first one to get this in your hands. So go now and click that link. This component goes hand in hand with what we did in Mission 1. If you haven't watched Mission number 1, click the card above me and make sure you go back and get all the information that's there, because that lays the first foundation and the very initial framework for you to start your prepping life. But not yet, because you need to know that what we're going to do is add some canned food to those staples that we already have. So you have at this point $14 left from your budget. If you follow the links below and you make those purchases, you're going to have $14 available dollars out of your $100 monthly budget. I want you to go to the grocery store, maybe a big box store or a discount store, and look for the foods that you love and that you already eat. Look for those things that are discounted, that are on sale, and use that $14 to expand the food stores you have on hand, things that you can add to the rice, to the beans that you already have in storage. The two skills that go along with this mission. The first thing is we want you to practice preparing those dried foods that you started storing from Mission number 1. Most people have never prepared those kind of dry foods before. To soak the beans, to be able to flavor them and make them tasty. Because in a survival situation, you don't want to suffer from food fatigue. You want to make sure you can consume the calories you need to do the work that's required of you to protect you and your family. So, as you begin to prepare those foods, read those instructions, go online, find some recipes, but start learning how to prepare those dried foods so you're not waiting until you're in the heat of an emergency to try to figure out how to do it. The second skill you're mastering in this mission is awareness. Most of us have become so accustomed to having our faces down in our phones and not paying attention to our surroundings that situational awareness is something that is a thing of the past. But what I want you to do is begin to learn how to be situationally aware. The next time you go to a restaurant, a grocery store, or even your place of work, make sure when you walk in, you take notice of where the exits are, where the emergency lights are. When you're out on the road, make note and begin to look at the people that are around you. When you stop at a traffic light, look to see what's happening in the cars around you, on the sides of the road around you. When you go into a store, make it a game. Take your kids and say, I'm going to point to somebody. And when I point to somebody, you have a count of 5. And once I get to 5, you have to turn and then you have to tell me what they're wearing and what they look like. Teach your children to be situationally aware as you learn to be situationally aware. Play the same game with yourself. Go to the grocery store and then on your way to the car, try to recount the people that were in line behind you and to the lines beside you. Become situationally aware, because if you know what's going on around you, you can avoid the danger that's sneaking up on you and you can find yourself in smooth sailing rather than in a compromised position. Our mission here at Prepared to Live is to help you build a life-proof life. A life that's not shaken by the same things that shake other lives. It's our mission to equip you with the skills, systems, and resources necessary for you to take the next step in your journey towards homesteading or prepping. Listen, from my family to yours, we'll see you on the next video.